Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P Funk. Thinking right out here in the lab. What I do for you. Oh, I got way too much time on my hands. I just keep coming up. I feel like P. Diddy. Take that, take that. I just keep finding more stuff to give you, so I'm on my grind doing what I do. Let's go. Rightism, I'm excited. Rightism, 25 was lived by storytelling. Story with a message. Message in the story for life. I got a bunch of life lessons. I'm gonna give them to you. You tune in, I got you. I appreciate you too. Let's do what we do. Right thinking mission, and that's what I'm on, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking's way of life through mental and spiritual discipline daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. That's my mission that all right thinkers do just that. So I got to be on my job to get the information to you so you can do just that. Know thyself. Let's go. I asked the question, do you know you? If it's rhetorical, but if you don't have an answer for yourself, tune in. I can help you with that. That's what I do for you. Help you to know you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. You teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believes and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows not, excuse me, a person who knows, but knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up, excuse me, with knowledge of self. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. I think, know thyself, and to my yacht, be true. Man, this little book, man, I'm still rocking it. I'm still putting it out there because it's good stuff. Now we're going to talk about right thinkers. Let's talk about, I got two chapters. First one is the mystical experience, pure consciousness. Ought to be good. Short page and a half. Next one's going to be the distracted state of mind, aka agitation. Teach about that. It's a good lesson. Let's go. Let's rock. The mystical experience, aka pure consciousness. Now, in the beginning, the Het Haru is one with Ra. That's where she come from. She represents the I. He sent her out to take care of his business. So she belonged to him. She experiences awareness of her essential nature as what? Being united with the Supreme. She's one with God. And this is the mystical experience. That's what I want all of us to become, one with your higher self. Then you can do his bidding. You can do his work out here in society. The mystical experience is what? Is the true state of being. It represents a full awareness of what? The spiritual self, aka your higher self, as well as an awareness of what? The unity of everything in creation. You're one with the cosmos, one with the universe, you're one with God. This is the true state of human consciousness. If I say that to certain people, they'll think I'm crazy. So really, if you that far gone that you think the person who's telling you the truth is crazy, what that say about you? So this state of consciousness, which a lot of us is not, is characterized by what? All pervasiveness, infinite expansion, infinite freedom, infinite awareness, infinite peace. You hear that word, infinite? Okay, that means eternal, forever. In India, mysticism, watch this, the state of consciousness are called gunas, Gunas, or modes of expressions in which what? The conscious God expresses himself. In ancient Egyptian wisdom, watch this, the same thing is recognized that there are mixed personalities in the world and even more aspirants. People who act, watch this, righteously sometimes when everybody's watching, they're good behavior. What do you do when ain't nobody watching? That's the problem. We got a bunch of you phony guys. Watch this. So watch this. We got people who act righteously sometimes, and that other not are explained in what? In the understanding gained from the myth of, again, Het Haru and Tahuti, of the three forms of human personalities. B-E-G, you got lucid, to be what? Bright, to see. Niche, Neshshh. That means agitated. Agitated means what? Disruptive, bothered, distracted. And then you have umat, U-M-E-T, umet, and then dash ab, excuse me. That means dull, dense, dull of heart. That heart part, I got something for you coming up with that definition. But watch this. Being dull of heart. The lucid personality is content and well adjusted. Okay? A seeker of what? Higher culture and an experience of the inner, an experience of inner peace and spiritual upliftment. Good guys. The agitated personality, watch this, is constantly what? Swinging from peaceful to non-peaceful. 1 minute they're nice, next minute they're nasty. Thoughts and action. Those people are moody. We know a bunch of them, okay? But then you got seekers for what? Fulfillment, and sometimes finding what? Temporary happiness. And when that wears off, they need to what? Search again. A little bit, then they want more. Okay, well, I can't be satisfied with that worldly stuff. And watch this. Now, this search sometimes leaves them elated when it's good, and at other times depressed when it's not. That ain't the way to go through life. And most of us do that. That's the roller coaster. You don't want that. But sometimes, watch this, there are lucid what? Glimpses of your higher perspective. Every now and then you get that glimpse of what could be or what may be in your life. And then what happened? Then these are what shut off. Why? Due to ignorance. Your biggest enemy is you when you're ignorant. And watch this. It's shut off due to ignorance and desires that what? That cause mental distractions and passions that cloud the intellect. Again, the clouds going by the sun, you can't see it until they move. Sometimes y'all just cloud the sun and just stay there. And you got the dull, watch this, personality is incapable. A dull personality is incapable of what? Envisioning the high perspective. Why? Because it's the ego self. It don't recognize God. That's why. Ego, edging God out. Whenever you're dealing with the ego self, it's nothing to do with God. It seeks what? For what is base and degraded as it is, and what the intellect of such a person is atrophied, meaning it's clouded, it's covered up. Like the pineal gland, you drink certain things, you fluoride, it calcifies the pineal gland. Nonetheless, that's what it's atrophied, meaning it can't, it's out of use, can't be used. In a higher, more advanced sense, there are only two groups. There are 200 people. You got the Nihastu, which is the awakened, us, right thinkers. Then you got the ignorant, worldly people who want everything worldly. Okay, monetary things. They're ignorant, but they're worldly. They want everything of the world. That's the two kinds of people. Now, let's talk about the distracted state of mind, aka agitation. What does that mean? I got a nice little page and a half of information. Hope I can get through it before we get too flaky. Yeah, I can rock it. Let's go. Let me get it started. The distracted state, agitation. When she, Het Haru, which is you, was sent, projected into the time and space in the world, watch this, in the phenomenal world, to do what? To perform a task in the service of who? God, the divine. She was sent here on purpose. She fell what? Prey to individual, listen, individual conscience. The conscience we're talking about here is the conscience of the heart. She lost her way, heartfelt. Watch this. The conscience is spelled CONSCIENCE. S-C-I-E-N-C-E. That's the heart conscious, not the head conscious. The head conscious is spelled C-O-N-S-C-I-O-U-S. I try to make that point clear because it's a distinction. When you hear the conscious is spelled with the science, that's the heart. Little tidbit. Okay, but watch this. And that's what the egoistic desire, that's where it dwells. So when she came here, her intentions was right and pure, but when her heart got affected, all bets is off. Watch what happens. Watch this. Now, in particular, she becomes what? Filled with what? Anger. And she develops the need to what? Satisfy her desires for what? Flesh and blood. She was sent here to take care of all the unrighteous. And for a minute, it was okay. Why? She found the unrighteous and she killed them. Okay, they wasn't good people. Back ancient time, the punishment for being unrighteous was death, according to them. That's what she was doing. You was unrighteous. But what happened is the unrighteous, I guess, was trying to clean up their act. So, and the righteous was getting, I guess, a little sloppy. So she couldn't distinguish between the righteous and unrighteous. They started looking pretty much alike. So she just said, hell with it. I'm eating everything. So she was satisfying her own bloodthirst lust. And watch this. They played a trick on her. Watch this. I keep telling you, parents, if you can't trick your children to do the right thing, you ain't too good at parenting. Sometimes you can trick them to do the right thing. So you got to lead them on, so to speak, put them in they need to be, and they'll take it from there. So, but main thing is good and truth. I did one thing with my kids, kept it honest with them, kept it real. Didn't fabricate, didn't do the holiday thing, no, none of that nonsense. They fine without that. Oh, you depriving the kid. It ain't got that nonsense stuff. But that's the concept. But remember, when you lose your way, you lose the heart, watch this. This is what happens. And this is trying to show you how a person is. That is a state in which what she became what? Forgetful of who? Her original condition, who she really was. We come here with amnesia. We come here not knowing who we are from birth. Okay? That little thing in our head, that brain, it grows. We put memory on like a computer. When you buy it, it got to be programmed. First 7 years, you're being programmed. So, another lesson. But that's the concept. But watch this. She's showing you when she got here, she lost her weight. And watch this is what? This is what they call the lower state of being. She acquiesced to her lower nature, satisfying her thirst of lust for blood. Okay, and the state of being is a condition wherein what? The soul is what? Overpowered with what? With delusions due to what? The overwhelming pressures of desires of the flesh, the thoughts, and strong emotions for what they want. So they overrode the common sense and did what they wanted. Thus, the act clouds, again, talk about the clouds, this act clouds which block the human personality from having a clear vision of what is higher self. When the ego is involved, he blocking out anything that's going above him. Why? He think he is it. So if you're rolling with the ego self, you're missing the boat. They are called fetters. I told you that's what self-inflicted things that you bring on yourself because of ignorance of your higher self. That's set. That's the ego. It don't know its higher self. And anyone who is what is fettered, I teach this concept, is known as one who is in the state of bondage. The sign for fettered set is a man handcuffed, okay, bound like this. You can't do nothing. You fed it. You cause your own problem. You're no use. This state of mind, watch this, is also characterized by what? Restlessness, distractions, dissatisfaction, and lack of what? Fulfillment. So you're unhappy. You're not a good camper. You're not a happy camper. And it's what? It's the constant movement and it goes on and on. Now, in relation to this gunas, which is of India, the mysticism, this state of consciousness is known as Rajas, Rajas. The human soul uses what? The mind. Remember, the brain is inside the head. It don't see, it don't know nothing. It had to receive the information from the five senses of the body. Okay, so the mind and senses, in order to have a human experience in much the same way as a person uses what? glasses to see the world. When the glass are colored, anything that is seen through them is what also colored. In the same way, when the soul uses the mind and the senses to know itself, everything that is known in this manner is what? Colored, diluted by what? The thoughts and the feelings, sentiments and the egoism, etc. All the senses of the body. That's all it's going to get. Therefore, your mind that is beset with what? Ignorance, anger, hatred, anxiety, delusion, etc. All Satanian qualities. When you have that, you will act as a what? It will act as a veil, which what? Blocks the vision of what? Your innermost self. Again, this state is represented by who? Haru. And watch this. As she runs through the land, what? Seeking to what? Satisfy her what? Endless desires to slay and consume human beings, to kill, okay, and drink the blood. She's bloodthirsty. And it was getting out of control. The desires in your mind that is constantly assaulted by who? Fetters, your ego self, are endless. Again, I hear the phrase, the devil, oh, he's busy. Yeah, that's your ego self going against what's right. The devil is in opposition to what's right and what's good and pure. So if you under God's will, you're not going to do those things. You're going to do what's right. Why? Because that's the right thing to do. And if you ain't aware of that, you're going to do whatever you want to do, and it never works out well. No sooner, watch this, no sooner does one desire become fulfilled. You get what you desire, and what happens? Before another rises. This is because why? Ignorance, again, is feeding on ignorance. The ego self, as more as it gets, the more it's going to want. It's going to desire more. It's going to want more. It ain't going to be satisfied. I just got more, more. So that's the ego. And watch this. It's ignorance feeding ignorance and can never, watch this, can never satiate ignorance. Desire and ignorance are never going to make you happy, and you're never going to satisfy it. So if you're living under them qualities, you're going to have fetters. Simple. Now, Het Haru, in that state of what? Delusion, what happened? She believed that she must continue to search out and kill and eat flesh and drink the blood in order to what? Satisfy her innermost urge, since now that she's ignorant, she's just going to fulfill her desires. Since the desire is of what? Flesh, her body, mind, and ego. There you go, the ego. It is never, hear that? It is never possible to satisfy it. So she would just go on endlessly on that spree, trying to find, and it never will happen. That's you chasing your tail, or worse, you're gonna get reincarnated until you change the pattern. Watch this. So now, watch this, as long as she continues to believe that this here, long as she continues to believe, that's the power, that this is her true desire and purpose, she will continue in an endless search for fulfillment in that manner. That's crazy. But we have people living that concept right today. So in ancient concepts, they're still the same thing in life. So the same tactics that they used then works today. I'm proving that by giving it to you my way. Watch this. Now, this state of consciousness is categorized as what? Categorized by a constriction in consciousness, meaning it's narrowing. That window is getting closer. Why? Because you're getting more ignorant. It ain't getting open because you're getting smarter. It's getting closer because you're not getting smarter. No longer is there all pervasive or peace, but what? A squeezing pressure filled with desires of the flesh. And understand this, the body belongs to the earth. That's why your ego self is represented by the four-legged animal set. It's earthbound, and your spirit is recognized by wings. It can ascend. Get the concept? And watch this. Soul belongs to heaven. That's an ancient Egyptian proverb. I got more. I'm going to read one more chapter. I see I got a few seconds left. I'm gonna wrap this up. So but watch this. Now, this is the miserable predicament of human embodiment when what? When the human soul what becomes embodied and associated with the human form of the body. It loses itself when it comes into the body, and mind senses it just going on what it feel. The brain is going on auto. Why? Because it needs to code, need to connect with this. Watch this. Now, the pressure of these body, mind, and senses causes the soul to what? Forget its true nature. It begins to believe. Watch this. It no longer know itself. Now it's starting to believe that it is what? The body. And that the feelings and sentiments and desires of the mind, senses, and the body are its own. So it's going on what it feels, what it thinks, and what it believes. Thus, watch this. Now, this form of delusion leads ignorant people on a what? An endless search through life, doing what? Trying to satisfy their need for what? Companionship. I need a soulmate, comfort, a situation that's good for them, happiness when somebody else taking care of them, etc. They always wanted somebody to do something for them. That's not how it's done. Through worldly excuse me. Their life is based on worldly objects and other human personalities doing for them. You know a few of them? However, let me wrap this up with a however, the real need and innermost desire is what? To discover the self, to know thyself, and who am I? When you answer that question for yourself, you are a right thinker. You mastered the concept of right thinking philosophy by knowing thyself. Hope you enjoyed the lesson. I got another one. I got to cut this short, but I got more. I'll be back.